Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. For today's video, we're going to be talking about gun buyback programs and how stupid and useless they are, and how it's absolutely hilarious that people continue to do these under the belief that they're actually taking guns out of the hands of criminals and that their stupid gun buyback program has an effect on violent crime in their city. Specifically today, we're going to be talking about the gun buyback program that happened in Columbus, Ohio. That is the idea of this fat guy right here, the mayor of Columbus, Ohio, Andrew Ginther. He is the dumbass mayor of the city of Columbus who believes that he is actually taking guns off the street and that his efforts through the Office of Violence of Prevention are actually having an effect on violent crime in the city. Let's just say that by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how foolish of an idea this was, as I know exactly what occurred at the gun buyback and where all of the money went. But before we get into that particular part, I want to talk about my idea for participating in the gun buyback, because I heard that last year when they had a gun buyback, a lot of people went and made a bunch of money. Everybody was really excited about how much money they made at the gun buyback selling cheap, old, broken down piece of crap guns. So I came up with an idea. I went to a local gun store and I bought 3 of the cheapest, most broken down piece of crap guns I could buy. And my plan was to go and participate in the gun buyback and see how much money I could get for those guns. Unfortunately, I was unable to participate in the gun buyback, not because I'm not eligible to participate, because it was a no questions asked event, but because a couple people that showed up very early to the event showed up with absolute truckloads full of firearms that they bought on the cheap, and they sold them back to the city for really good money, and they made a tremendous amount of profit by selling their guns back to the city. And we're going to go over the exact amount of profit that they had later on in the video. But I did go to the gun buyback and I did film a lot of stuff while I was there and in preparation for it, and I want to show you how that process played out. And then at the end, I'm going to show you exactly the result of the gun buyback, why I was not able to participate, and how much profit people were making from it. So at this point in the video, I'm going to cut to the footage that I filmed in my truck right after I bought these old beat up piece of crap firearms. I'm going to let you see what firearms I bought, what condition they were in, and then we're going to transition directly into the day of the event, and we'll talk about exactly how much I would have made with those weapons, as well as some of the logistics of the gun buyback event itself and some of the factors that contributed to me not being able to participate. And then we're going to come in at the end, like I said, and talk about these guys that actually made a killing by conning the city into giving them really good money for really cheap, useless guns. So without further ado, let's watch the beginning of my journey to the 2024 version of the gun buyback in the city of Columbus. Alright guys, so I just left the gun shop, and they didn't want me filming in there. They wanted me to leave their name out of this just in case somebody at the city gets pissed at them for I don't know, selling me firearms, which there's nothing wrong with selling someone a firearm as long as they're not doing anything illegal with the firearms. And the firearms that I just purchased today are going to be sold to the city of Columbus, so 100% above board and legitimate. I went and spent, how much did I spend? $279, and with that $279 I bought 3 firearms, and I'm going to tell you about those 3 firearms right now. The first one is this guy right here, and the manufacturer of this firearm is called Bacon. It's a Bacon revolver, and I don't even know what caliber. I think it's a 22, it might be a 38, but you can't even pop the cylinder out, at least not that I know of. Has a hammer on it, and then the hammer collapses, and then that locks the cylinder in place. If you do this, you can kind of spin the thing around, and that's how you load the bullets in there. You just turn it, bullet, and then you go ahead and, I don't know, cock it, and then you're ready to go. That is the first firearm that I just purchased that I'll be using for the gun buyback. So I got a hair in my throat. The next one, it didn't have a manufacturer on the receipt, or they didn't know the manufacturer, but this was sold to me as a good condition break action revolver. So you can see there's nothing in the chambers. This is another good condition firearm that I'm going to sell back to the city of Columbus in order to earn money to buy my next AR-15. And then the other gun, I don't know if I can get it in the screen, but I bought a bolt action 22. You can see it's a bolt action 22. It's magazine fed. There's a hole for a magazine right there. I can't get the whole gun in the screen here, but that is the third gun that I have. So I can't hold that one up at the same time, but I've got these two guys right here and that bolt action, was I calling that a revolver? Bolt action 22 caliber rifle. These are the firearms that I'm going to be selling back to the city of Columbus. We'll see how much money they're willing to give me for these good condition firearms, and then we'll see what kind of AR I can afford to buy with that money. Alright guys, so here we are in line. See if I can do the picture-in-picture thing for you. We are at the corner of Grant and Main, and the line has already begun. I am probably a couple hundred meters away from the actual entrance to the gun buyback. Cars are lined up. There's probably 5-6 cars in front of me going up to Grant Street, and then it goes south from there. So probably another 10-15 cars. I don't know how many gift cards they have, but hopefully I got here early enough that I can get in on this action. As the event starts, I'll go ahead and start recording it again. I'll let you know. We're pulling up. Here's how this works. There's an officer out here handing out some kind of coupons or something like that. Maybe it's not an officer. Maybe he works for the Office of Violence Prevention. We'll see what he has to say. Hey, sir.
Here's a leaflet that explains the pricing. Wherever your weapon is at, let the officers know when you pull in. They'll take it out of your vehicle.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Alrighty, so you just saw me going through the line and getting this little flyer that's up on the screen right here in real big letters for everybody to see. This tells you exactly how much money the city was going to give you for your firearms. If we take a look at it together, it says $500 for the first handgun and $150 for each subsequent handgun, $750 for an assault rifle, and then $500 for a rifle. Now, I already have an assault rifle. It's actually back here. And I know people are going to cringe when I say that I have an assault rifle. I realize it's just a rifle, but just for simplicity's sake, let's just continue to call it an assault rifle. So this is my rifle. This is my 5.56 AR-15. It's a Bushmaster, pretty standard, like military edition style AR with the regular grips and everything on the front. I don't have all the rail systems and all that. I was thinking about using the money to go and buy a better AR, but I didn't get to do that. So my old AR is just the one that I'm going to have for a little while. I can always buy a rail system and add it to the gun. I just haven't gotten around to doing that. So the guns that they do have, and also this is worth more than $750, so I wasn't going to sell that back to the city. The guns that I do have, though, you already saw them in the video earlier. I've got 2 handguns. So 2 handguns, and the city, according to the pay chart that you're looking at in front of you, was going to give me $500 for the first. Let me do this. And then $150 for the second, as well as $500 per rifle. So I've got this rifle right here, which is a 22 caliber bolt action rifle that the city was going to give me $500 for. So that means, and I can't hold them all up at the same time, but that means the city was going to give me $1,150 for my 3 piece of crap firearms. That would have given me enough money to go buy a very nice AR-15. Unfortunately, due to the people that we're going to talk about in a little while, I was unable to go through with the gun buyback and go buy that AR-15. But the people that did, I promise you, are going to put their profits to good use. So let's get on with the video and see what else happened with my experience at the gun buyback. All right, guys, we're getting closer to go time here. They actually have officers out here now directing traffic, so that should stop some of the gridlock problems. I'm almost back to where I was when I got routed around the block. It is now 9:48, so officially 12 minutes until the event begins. Hopefully this time I get routed straight into the parking lot. Getting a little nervous as we get closer. Yeah, the officers are now doing a good job making sure that traffic doesn't get too stupid, because last time I came through here it was green and nobody could go straight. So let's see if these guys get out of my way, if this officer lets me go through. All right, we got a green light. Here we go. Just be courteous, friendly. Let's go. That way. They routed me around the block once.
Go down to Washington, come back from Washington.
God damn it. Alrighty, so that part of the experience at the buyback was very frustrating for me. What happened was I got routed around the block multiple times and nobody was telling me where to get in line. The instructions were not clear. And you know, you did notice that the first time I got in line, I was given that flyer, which I don't have it in front of me, but I was given that flyer and I expected that I was in the right place, in the right line. So what I have for you here is a map, and I'm going to show you why I was getting rerouted and what ended up actually happening. And unfortunately, I think this is the main reason that I was unable to participate in the gun buyback, because I lost a bunch of spots in line by this. So I've got Photoshop up here. I'm going to get out the pencil and I've got it in red. Here is where the event was, and this is where the entrance was to the event. When I got there and I was in line, oops, I have to add a layer. I'll do that. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So when I got there and I was in line, I was about right there. That little spot in the map, that's where I was in line. Then we started to go and I was routed down Grant Street and I was turning this direction. I thought I was going to get to go right into the parking lot. Unfortunately, people kept waving me on. I had to go all the way around the corner, back up, and I found myself in the exact same place again. Nobody told me anything, so I just went through this whole process again. I thought they were maybe just trying to clear out traffic or make sure that people that showed up too early didn't have too much of an advantage. I didn't know. So I went once again, I went around, and when I got here, that's when I asked, I'm like, hey, I've already been turned around twice. What am I supposed to do? And he said, you have to go back to Washington and come in that way. So I went all the way around again, and here I am. Let's change the color up. Let's go to green, because that's like the time that it was the right color. So I was back here once again. Then I had to drive down here to Washington and down and get on to Mount Street, which was a one-way street that was directing everybody into the event. So I started here and I wasted about 30 minutes driving laps around, and then the crappy thing was I actually got right here about 40 minutes prior to the event starting. So I went from being 40 minutes early to actually being about 10 minutes late, because they routed me around 3 times and then here. Plus I had to fight all the traffic from all the people coming in from the highway. It was really frustrating. So if I didn't have to do these 2 laps around, I would have made it to the gun buyback on time. But alas, I didn't make it on time. And I've got a little bit of video that I can show you about what that looked like. Well, it looks like I'm not going to make the cut. As you can see up there, that SUV is being turned around. I think they're turning us all around. They've already got everyone in line that's going to be in line. And due to somebody bringing in
something like 50 ARs and getting paid $750 a piece, which is a lot of money. I did the math a minute ago, but I can't remember what it was. Somewhere around $40,000. The event sold out incredibly early, so they foiled my plan of getting rid of my 3 piece of crap guns and using that money to go buy a nice gun. So now, after spending 3 hours of my day, I'm just gonna go home. This is kind of disappointing.
Alrighty, so that was my experience at the 2024 City of Columbus Office of Violence Prevention gun buyback. See, City of Columbus Office of Violence Prevention. Now, the reason that I was unable to participate in the gun buyback is because a couple people in front of me brought very large amounts of firearms. I was told that one person that was driving a vehicle that had Pennsylvania license plates on it had 50 AR-15s in his trunk. I then had a message from one of my Facebook followers later on in the day. He actually sent me messages bragging about how he went to the gun buyback and he had this is literally a picture of his trunk, and these are the weapons that he turned in, and he was given $500 for each of these weapons. Now, let's do a little bit of math here. The first guy, let's say this first guy, oh, you guys don't have, oh, there's the calculator. Sorry about that. So the first guy that came through the line, he had 50 ARs. So 50 times 750, that guy was paid $37,500 for his truckload of ARs. I haven't spoken to this particular guy, but what I imagine he did was, you can actually buy cheap uppers and lowers in separate sections without necessarily the guts. If I can, my weapon might not be clean. There we go. So it's my belief that you can buy uppers and lowers that don't have the bolt carrier group, this stuff, in the gun. So you can buy just the upper and the lower pretty cheaply, and then you can put it together, and to the casual observer, it looks like you have a fully semi-automatic weapon that is ready to be turned in at a gun buyback program. Unfortunately, that's not a functional weapon at all because it doesn't have any of the parts in it that make it go. It's my belief, and I can't confirm this, not at this point in time, that that's probably likely to be what happened with that guy that bought 50 firearms and went and turned them in. But regardless of the fact, I do have someone who I can confirm what he did, and it was this guy right here that sent me this screenshot and this picture of his trunk. I know for a fact that some of the ARs in his trunk were calibered in 5.56, which is a 223 round, which is your standard NATO round that most ARs are chambered in. Also, a handful of them were these 22 caliber long rifle AR. So it looks just like a regular AR-15, but I don't have any 22 caliber rounds around. But it's just a 22 caliber rifle. So this is exactly how much he paid for them, and here they are. Since I don't know the breakdown of how many rifles he bought, we're just going to pretend that they were all 22 calibers and that the City of Columbus only gave him $500 per gun rather than $750 per gun, even though these look very much like an AR. It looks like a very scary black assault rifle. They didn't pay him assault rifle money for him. They just paid him rifle money for him. So I went ahead and counted these guns before, and it was 25. So he had 25 firearms, and he sold them for $500 each. That means that he got a check for, or not a check, he got gift cards for $12,500. Now, how much did he actually pay for these weapons? He paid $189 times 25. So he paid $4,725 for these weapons, not accounting for taxes, and he sold them for over $12,000. That means that he made $7,000 in profit from this event. So it's kind of funny, and I don't think I have it queued up and ready to go. But I did make a separate photo. Where's it at here? There it is. And I think what I'm going to do after this is I'm going to leave this screen up while the mayor plays his thank you message, because the mayor came out and put out a thank you message saying, hey, neighbors, thanks to everyone in the city of Columbus that came out and participated in our gun buyback for 2024. We are taking guns off the street, making the city safer, and blah, 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 blah. But the fact of the matter, Mr. Mayor, is that you took almost 0 guns off the street because people outsmarted your stupid system. They outsmarted me as well, because my plan was to take crap like this and sell it back to the city of Columbus. I was going to get $500 for this piece of crap that I think I paid like $75 for. So I was about to turn $75 into $500 and go buy a really nice firearm with that money. That's what the majority of people did in this gun buyback. And the illustration that I have right in front of you is absolute proof. These gun buyback programs don't make the city any more safe. They don't take guns off the street. The only guns that are taken off the street are ones that are recently purchased for a very low price and sold back to the city for a tremendous amount of profit. There's no way that you could have sold these ARs for $500 in any place other than back to the city of Columbus, who is a group of people that clearly don't know what they're doing, don't know anything about guns, and don't know anything about crime. But those people are now going to take that money and they're going to go buy actually like good ARs and ammunition and all the things that they want to do. These gun buyback programs, I think I've already said it enough times, are a joke. And they need to go away. But unfortunately, there's still going to be people out here that are as dumb as the people that you're going to hear talking in a minute, believing that these programs work. And as long as those people are still in charge of our major cities across the country, you're going to see violent crime and all of the other things that come along with it continue. If you start voting these people out of office, maybe things will improve. I think that's it for my video today, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you later.
Hey neighbors, thanks for showing up today. I'm grateful to the Columbus Division of Police and the Office of Violence Prevention, Dr. Jones and her team at Franklin University. We're taking guns off the street today at our second gun buyback. Last year we took 344 guns off the street, making our city safer and stronger. Homicides and violent crime are down 31% in our city. And I just want to thank everybody for stepping up and doing their part.
Hey everybody, this is Rena Shack, the Director of the Office of Violence Prevention. Like the Mayor said, we're so grateful for the community show out that happened today. We've had lines going since about 8 o'clock this morning. The parking lot has not stopped, so we are so grateful for everybody coming out, showing up, giving us your weapons. We're giving out cash gift cards in return. One gun taken off the street is one life saved, and so we're so grateful for your support.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Chanel Jones. I chair the public safety programs at Franklin University. This is a great day. So thankful for the community who came out, turned in those guns, got a little bit of cash. It is a great day, so thank you all.
Thank you, neighbors. Let's make Columbus safer and stronger together.